This time I would like to talk about how the voters in the United States of America are apparently deceived over and over and over again.
Yes, and tell me,
Yes.
in what way?
Yes. Bush wanted to become president of the United States, I mean baby Bush. So he said that once he becomes president, he would withdraw US troops from the Balkans. And once he became president, he continued the evil ways of his filthy pervert predecessor.
Clinton.
Yes, Penis Clinton.
We shouldn't even mention his name.
Yes, that's true. Oto Aish. Yimach Shmo, yes, whatever. He continued the evil ways of his pervert predecessor, Yimach Shmo, Oto Aish, whatever, President what or whatever. And he continued the manhunt against Dr. Karadzic and General Mladic, and he encouraged Djindjic, at that time he was the quisling dictator of Serbia, to hand over Milosevic.
Yes, and many other things. Now let's speed ahead now,
yes,
Abner, to the debate at hand. What is going on in the war in the Middle East, Syria?
In Syria, of course. Syria, there is a war between the government and terrorist groups, as well as between the terrorists and themselves. But, of course, I don't know why it is against the interest of Israeli civilians, definitely, to take the side of the terrorists. Because if, God forbid, terrorists rule Syria, then Israeli soldiers and civilians are in more danger than now. Because now we have a government in Syria that tries to have reforms. Just the war interrupted it. And yes, I know a certain person I know once wrote in a newspaper that he went to Syria and the buses were terrible, and that shows that the government doesn't care about its own civilians.
Yes.
But then I asked him, so why didn't you go to some kind of governmental agency in Syria and told them that for the civilians, for the sake of the civilians, it is better to improve the service. Eventually he said, I don't care. So, and he's the person who preaches intervention, and that the Jews should care that nobody witnesses something like the Holocaust. Of course, it's always the Holocaust, and it's always Jews in the Holocaust. Of course, the first prisoners in Auschwitz were Polish. You know, once upon a time, Rabbi the one who was Chief Rabbi Lau, met Mandela, and he said, no, Mandela greeted him by saying, we are similar, we were prisoners of tyranny. And instead of being shocked and chastising Mandela for saying such a thing, he said, yes, you're right, but you were a prisoner more time. Imagine such a dialogue between Janusz Walus and his uncle.
Yes, I agree with you.